The Alah Yen Foundation has put together the first ever Central Music Awards to be held on the 9th of April. The ceremony is to celebrate and uplift musicians, producers, composers and other players in the music business. This year's award ceremony will be graced by performances from Zola 7 and Vusi Nova. Well, for more on the awards, we are joined on the line by Tshediso Thinane, CMA Media Liaison. Good morning, Tshediso. Welcome to Morning Live. Talk to us about the awards. What are the awards about the 9th, the Central Music Awards?
No, thank you so much. First of all, the Central Music Awards are composed to promote, music, in the Central South Africa, because they not only focus on the Free State Province, they focus on the Southern Gauteng, the Vaal, the whole of Lesotho and the part of the Northern Cape. And they are composed primarily because you realize that in the Central South Africa, most of the artists are not getting chance, to actually, exhibit or expose their music if they don't go Gauteng. So we thought that perhaps let us come up with a program that can be able to support the artists so that they can grow comfortable where they are. Because majority of the artists, they don't kind of like go to Gauteng or maybe to go to Devon or the Western Cape. They are comfortable where they are. But the challenge is that, the spotlight that actually come to artists is not the same in the Gauteng area as is in the Central South Africa.
Now, you're mainly focusing on the Free State. How are you hoping this changes the music landscape in the province?
We're not focusing on the Free State. Like I said, we are covering the whole of Lesotho, the Southern Gauteng, which is the Vaal, and parts of the Northern Cape. And then I hope that actually, if we can get actually check, there's a lot of artists that are coming from these areas that are going to Gauteng, and they only make it rather when they get to Gauteng. So what we're trying to do here is to try to make sure that they can actually grow, commercially the same way they do if they go to Gauteng. Yeah, in the Free State, Lesotho, and other areas where they are, because we have very good music in all the genres in those areas. But the challenge is that it's always that commercial success that the artists are actually failing to attain when they are here in Central South Africa.
Speak to us about the categories. What are those? How are those selected?
Actually, what we did, we tried as much as possible to cover all the musical the genres that were actually having, and we came to about 31 categories extend from jazz, For instance, what we did, we clustered categories based on the genres under each and every single category as subcategories. So for instance, in the dance music category would have your best DJ, deep house DJ, commercial DJ, and each and every, we are selecting a male and a female. With regards to jazz, we took classical jazz, under the jazz category, we took classical jazz, contemporary jazz, and obviously we have other genres like your hip hop, idol, and the gospel. Also, with gospel, we did say we have African traditional gospel as a subcategory, and contemporary jazz, gospel. Under the gospel category.
Why the decision to separate the gospel categories as well as the jazz? Why choose two instead of just one umbrella of jazz or gospel?
It's genre, because jazz, we have different types and disciplines of jazz. We have jazz, we have Afro jazz, we have classical jazz. It's not the same. So it would be unfair to, an artist that actually plays contemporary jazz to be in the same category with an artist that plays, Afro jazz. The same thing applies with gospel. Some of the artists that play African traditional gospel that we all know, and then some of the artists are playing, urban contemporary jazz that we normally call Hillsong. Although we know that Hillsong is a group. So that's what we try to do, just to make sure that we do justice to each and every single of the genres. Because it might be jazz as a word, but it's not the same when you actually get the subcategories.
Yeah. Talk to us about the nominees. How do you select the nominees? Who is on your judging panel?
What we did, actually, we launched the Central Music Awards last year on the 25th of July in partnership with the Performing Arts Center of the State, which is a division and agency of National Department of Arts and Culture. And that were adversely affected by COVID. We opened immediately after, but the process did not wanted. But we opened, nominees that actually nominated, there was sent link to those who actually responded. And then there's a panel that is led by Ms. Letaba, who's also former, creative director for performing arts. They also have a team. We have a gentleman who is a producer of SABC at the FM. Then we have Mr. Vusi, so currently looking for the performing arts set of the that is, like I said, under the Department of Art Culture. So we have about 5-6 individuals that are serving in the panel, that are going to assist us. Because at the moment now, I think just for about a couple of days, on the 28th, actually on the last day of the month, we closed the USSD. So the artists were actually campaigning, on social media and press. So we closed it on the 31st of March. So between now and Wednesday next week, the panel will be sitting in our hotel somewhere in Bloemfontein to make a final decision on who wins on each of the one.
All right, and then talk to us about what the prize money is, or what do the winning artists walk away with?
Oh, beautiful. Are we allowed to mention names of sponsors?
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, we have Vodacom Free State. They came through. They will be sponsoring 5 categories. And we also have, I'm sure as a lady, Tammy Taylor Nails. They are also sponsoring. They also are in the male, best female artist of the year, and also female deep house DJ. And other female categories, we have the Free State Tourism Authority. They will also be, sponsoring a couple of categories. I think about 5 categories. We also have National Youth Development Agency. They will be sponsoring one category. Initially, we spoke to them to sponsor 10, but they came back to us. They said they don't want to give people, small money that is not going to make difference in their businesses. Rather, what they can do, they can actually invest about 50,000 Rand on one category. So that the person that's going to win that category can actually make it. We also have a property development company in Bloemfontein called Ebenezer and Sivuyile Properties. They will be sponsoring all the gospel categories that I mentioned. And I'm sorry that I'm not speaking, looking at the we also have the Department of the Premier in the Free State Province. They are also sponsoring. We have a multimedia company called KA2PA. It's a Bloemfontein-based multimedia company. They normally deal with OBs, outside brokers, and all of that. So those are currently, the stakeholders that we're actually working with at the moment. We also have a Bon Hotel, Bloemfontein Central, that is also sponsoring one of the categories here.
All right. Tshediso, thank you so much for talking to us. The Central Music Awards are finally here. We just spoke to the media liaison, Tshediso Thinane. The first award ceremony will be held on the 9th of April at Packhoffs to celebrate the diverse talent that is in the Free State and the Vaal area and some bit of Gauteng.